If you're a musician, the chances are very good that you are or have been a member of a band or musical group. Just turn on the radio and you will find that most of the songs you hear are recorded and released by bands. There are two almost universal truths concerning bands. First, band members will not always agree. And second, except in very rare instances, at some point the band will break up or have exiting members. Sometimes band members are able to work out those issues and the band simply continues as though nothing occurred. Other times, however, those issues can create irreparable rifts among the members that ultimately lead to the band's breakup. Bands deal with a number of common issues that the members need to anticipate and discuss very early in the band's life. In fact, bands need to recognize from the outset that they are businesses. Part of running a successful business is having a written agreement about how the business is to be operated and managed. In other words, a band agreement. Now, the actual form of the band agreement will vary depending upon the form of the band entity. Informally organized bands usually are structured as partnerships, assuming that more than one individual owns the band. For partnerships, the agreement is called a band partnership agreement. A band that's formally organized as a limited liability company will use an operating agreement, and a band organized as a corporation will use a set of bylaws. One of the first issues that the band agreement should address is who owns the band entity. In most bands, all members own the band in equal percentages, but that's not always the case. In fact, in some bands, one or a couple members own the band and simply hire the other musicians as employees or independent contractors. The band agreement should clearly identify all owners of the band and their individual percentages of ownership, as well as the division of income and liability among the members. It also is important to specify what happens to band assets in the event of a band breakup or the departure of a band member. It's important to recognize that assets can include equipment, trademarks and service marks, such as the band name and logo, copyrights, and inventory, including CDs, t-shirts, and other merchandise. Copyrights can create very unique contentious issues among band members. In fact, given that a band's entire business is rooted in music, it's often surprising how many bands never even discuss copyright issues until a dispute arises. For bands that perform and record original material, it's very important to identify which members are the songwriters. Issues can arise when one or more members write or partially write a song apart from the rest of the band and then bring that song into the band for it to arrange, perform, and record. It also is important to determine who owns the copyrights in any master recordings that the band records outside of a recording contract with a record label. A band agreement should also contain procedures for the day-to-day management of band business, including voting on key decisions, and it should contain a method for resolving disputes among band members, including how to handle tie votes. A more touchy subject that bands often fail to address is how to fire a band member and for what causes, such as continued failure to show up for rehearsals. Finally, it's important to address what money is owed to ex-members of the band and for how long. These are just some of the issues that a band agreement should address. It's advisable to seek help from legal counsel, such as the lawyers at DeSalvo and Levine, when formally organizing a band entity and preparing a proper band agreement.